Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now if you've been following the channel, you'll know that we drove an Audi V10 Spider around Europe, 6,000 kilometers, and we did that about 23 weeks ago. Today I'm in Auckland, New Zealand, and the car has traveled a further 20,000 kilometers around the world to get here. It arrives on a boat today where it will be unpacked, and then we will drive it from Auckland to Christchurch, another 1,000 k's. Now, just to be clear, I'm not sitting here waiting for the boat to arrive. This is not the boat. Our boat is about 5 kilometers out there. It was actually due in this morning, and for some reason, due to congestion, I think here in Auckland Harbour, it's been delayed a little bit. We just happened to be in Auckland for a concert. We're going to go home now, and then I'll come back to Auckland when the car's ready. It's got to go through customs compliance, so you can see there's a secure customs area through here. All the cars get taken off the boat. Ours is in a container, so it gets removed from the container, gets checked. It then goes through to a compliance centre where it is further inspected for things like rust and brakes and safety, and then it gets a New Zealand warrant of fitness and New Zealand registration, and I can collect the car and then we will drive it all the way home. So next time you see me, we will be here in Auckland with the car. So what a shame we missed it. What a shame we missed it. Okay, we're in the Uber now. We are 4 weeks from the last clip in Auckland, and we're back to get the car, which is very exciting. Just transited through Christchurch, about an hour 20, hour 30 flight, and we're heading to fast track compliance. So Justine there has been looking after the car over the Christmas break, keeping it all wrapped up, and it's now charged and ready for us to collect. So we finally made contact with the R8, nearly 5 months I think since it left England. So very, very exciting. But what's more exciting is it's right next to Craig's Ferrari. So you remember Craig, who's been on the channel in the e-tron and the GT videos. This is his car, which is currently being held up due to some shock absorber problems. But what a cool Ferrari. 458 Italia. Beautiful, beautiful black configuration on the yellow. It's got the awesome Italian flag on the back, which is great. The colour looks stunning. Very, very, very nice. I think Craig's going to be incredibly happy with this. Unfortunately, it has failed its inspection on a leaking shock absorber, which they're just trying to sort out at the moment. Hopefully that won't be too long, but the tyres look like they're in really good condition. The car looks gorgeous. So, all right, it's time for us to load up the R8, get some plates on it, and get it out of here. I bought the exact same bags that we had in Europe because we know that they fit. Okay, we're at the wheel, and a few things have happened. We've picked up the car from fast track compliance. We've popped on the New Zealand number plates, been down to the registration centre, and we've registered the personal plates to the car, and we've paid the new tax that has come into New Zealand on December 1st. Our beloved Prime Minister, Miss Ardern, brought in yet another tax. This one is, it's a clean car tax of some sort. Basically it's $3,000. But the good news is that there was another tax that just came in 11 days ago on the 1st of the month, which we missed out on needing to pay because the car had passed through compliance, and that was a CO2 tax, which was another $4,000 or $4,500 there or thereabouts. So a huge thank you to Justine at Fast Track Compliance, who literally fast tracked this car through the system before end of year, which was superb, and we avoided the need to pay that extra tax. So we're just on the road now, and I'm just getting reacquainted with the car after 5 months of absence, and it's it's a strange feeling to get back in it. Obviously I've driven a lot of other cars over the last 5 months, my own vehicles, and they're very different to this. So it does feel a wee bit strange to get back into it. And of course, being a manual again, getting back into a manual, which is great. The gated 6-speed manual, very, very cool. And getting, you know, instantly, I think the first thing that comes to mind when I'm back in this car and have reminiscence of the time that we had it in Europe is it just hits you. The New Zealand drivers and our New Zealand roads are just so shocking. Both are shocking. And yet, you know, I'm on Highway 1 at the moment, so this is one of the better roads. But the drivers, you just got to watch out. You know, trucks in the fast lane. Undertaking is legal in New Zealand, so even though it's highly dangerous, people will pass you on the left. And of course, you've got to be mindful of all of that. Now, we've just also had a cyclone hail come through the country, through the North Island, and we have just got the tail end of that. So there's a little bit of light rain. Yesterday it was just pouring down here apparently, so we've literally just missed that. And we're going to be driving south to Christchurch. We're going to be going to Cambridge tonight, where we overnight, and then from there we're going across to Gisborne, and then from there to Wellington, where we overnight again, and then we cross on the ferry and we overnight in Blenheim, and then from Blenheim we go into Christchurch. It's going to be a lovely, lovely drive and a lovely time to get back to grips with the car. Okay, we made it to Gisborne. We're actually 17 minutes north of Gisborne now, and we are checking into our little hut. Just watching my camera lady here, that she doesn't fall on anything. This is a great little beach hut, I have to say, and it was a great little find on Airbnb. It's called Zen Cabin, and you know, not sponsoring, I wish they were, but they are awesome little I think there's maybe a 2-bedroom cabin here, and we're right on the beachfront. So let's just take a little look at the cabin and exactly where we are. So there's the beach. The rain has stopped, fortunately. The car is incredibly filthy, but I'm looking forward to getting that clean real soon. And here is the cabin. So I'm going to say good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. We can't remember what day it is, but we're in Gisborne, and Far East Coffee. So as you leave Gisborne and head south to Napier, which is where we're going today, you'll see a John Deere tractor factory or tractor shop, and then you sort of go up through the back of a dodgy looking drive past some old articulated trailers and trucks and milk tankers, and you find this little gem, and I highly recommend Far East Coffee Company. So we're going to be doing a 3-hour drive south today down the coast. This road was shut yesterday due to the flooding, so hopefully we can get through with good success. I've just pulled over to the side of the road here because we are in a text message lay-by. Now, I've never seen anywhere in the world a text message lay-by before, but this is what it looks like. As we make our way down from Gisborne to Napier, we've got 150 k's to go. I just wanted to do a bit of a highlights reel, a bit of a highlights of the trip. Now, if you haven't watched the series of buying this car in the UK, traveling to the UK to collect the car, and then traveling around France and a little bit of Italy, and then ultimately shipping the car back to New Zealand, then you should go back. And I'll put a link to the other episodes here so that you can go back and watch it from the beginning. But I just wanted to kind of summarize, because it's fairly miserable. I bought the drone. I was going to do some nice drone shots of this car driving through the coast, but it's too wet outside to fly the drone right now. So in no particular order, I would say one of the great highlights, and thinking about the drone, was when I arrived into France first time after that huge long delay in the ferry, having to sleep in the car overnight, and then the next morning kind of woke up in France, and there's all the sort of the wheat fields, wheat's being harvested, and I took a drive through with the sun coming up in the morning, and I flew the drone and got quite a few different shots around in and around France and the northern parts of France, and that was just beautiful. We did some day trips from that area. We stayed, I think it was, including the night in the car, 3 nights, and just, yeah, I guess probably the emotions of the first time there, and you know, just arriving, and after such a huge wait and a huge ordeal, it was great to finally be there and do that. So that is going to be highlight number 1. Highlight number 2 was Lake Annecy. We took a day trip up into the mountains, and we followed some of the Tour de France cycle routes into the Alps. We stopped into a small village, which is sort of ski resort. Remember, it's summertime and it was heat wave, so no one skiing. A lot of people mountain biking, and we stopped at the top of the hill. We had those lovely spectacular views of Mont Blanc in the background, zigzagging switchbacks. That was for the first switchback driving through. Awesome, just truly awesome. And I was actually thinking, on our entire trip, I don't think we had any rain. Now we've just got rain almost every day, so the car is absolutely filthy. Wasn't like that at all in the summertime while we were there. Highlight number 3 would be driving Paris. I do love driving in Paris. Most people hate it, and they are terrified of it, and they freak out about the very idea of having a car in such a big city. But the drivers are all pretty sensible, you know, and there is a sort of a rhythm and a pattern to it that you get used to quite quickly, and it's very special, I think, driving through the streets of Paris. It's got so much history there. It's a great way to see Paris. It's a different way to see Paris. And of course, I had to drive a little bit out of Paris a couple of times in order to get the air conditioning fixed. So that was great fun, and yeah, good times. So really, really fun driving around those streets. I know that the tunnels in Paris as well, those were
second gear.
particularly good. Any tunnel is good. It should be a tunnel montage. Okay, so number 4, what's number 4? I'm going to say the drive from Lake Annecy down to Nice, and we took one night in Le Cedres Hotel, which is another chalet, another ski chalet that was, you know, open during the summertime for mountain bikers. Again, followed a Tour de France cycle route through the Alps, and just amazing. Like, the roads are so good. Lots of cyclists on the roads. The cyclists love the car. That was something that I remember finding very different about New Zealand, is every time you go past a bunch of cyclists, they'd look back at the car and you'd get the thumbs up, which is kind of cool, because you certainly don't. A different finger is raised in New Zealand normally when you drive past cyclists. So that is a highlight. I think we're up to number 5, and I'm going to say top down in Provence. So the thing with Provence is it's the air, the smell in the air, I guess it's obviously the lavenders and just the plants and the dryness of the soil, and the air is obviously different, and having the top down, driving through, beautiful, just beautiful. Lovely roads. We went up through the canyon, of course, which we'd done before in the S5 convertible, and doing it again was kind of reminded us of those times. Amazing canyons, amazing roads through the canyons. And that's the thing about Europe, and thinking about Europe, why it's so special as a special place to drive, is they do have these amazing roads through these amazing places that, you know, we just don't have that here. We have amazing places in New Zealand. We don't necessarily have the amazing roads to go with them or to get to them. They tend to be very, very, very different, not maintained at all, very narrow, and frankly, sometimes quite dangerous. So that's my top 5. I'm going to link to each of those top 5 moments as well in the description below. Remember to subscribe to this channel, by the way. I'm going to be making more videos like this one, and with 2 more R8s coming. For some reason it's becoming a bit of an R8 themed channel. I think that's just because this is my favorite car. Like, there's so much I love about it. It's a great experience if you do ever get a chance to get a car and drive it around Europe. I'd highly recommend it. Anyway, we're going to carry on navigating through this bad weather and through this road. I haven't seen any signs yet of where the slips were, but I assume we're going to come across them real soon. I was hoping the rain would have cleared by now, but nay, it has not. I'll catch up with you when we get to our next stop. We've made it to the South Island, and the rain is gone, but the wind is here. The last 2 nights we spent in Wellington, and a really smooth ferry crossing, I might add. Beautiful, just textbook, perfect. We then stayed with some friends in Blenheim last night, and we're now making our final way back down to Christchurch. You remember this spot from when we had the Audi coupe? Laura and I drove from Auckland to Christchurch, and we took some shots down this road. We did some lovely drone shots. Really tricky to do in this wind, but gonna give it a go anyway. It's been a magnificent drive, loved every minute of it. Still got about 300 or 400 kilometers to go, but not much else to really see on this part of the trip. So gonna wrap it up here. Make sure you like and subscribe. Look out for more videos. We'll see you soon.